we believe that gender, men and women equally, plus women especially, are very important for as far as climate change is concerned, because one is the one picture that everybody sees very easily is that more women are more victimized by climate change than men. But more than that, what we want to focus on is women as the uh, change agents for climate change, because whatever mitigation actions we want to take, most of the actions need to start with women, because women are basically the people who take decisions at the domestic level. So for organizations like us who work with women on the ground level, at the domestic level, we feel that we need to focus on the women more. And for example, the question of fossil fuels, that they want to phase out fossil fuels. But in most rural households, the decision about which fuel they can use is mostly made by the women, because they are the ones who go out and collect firewood, and they are the ones who, even in case of water shortages, they are the ones who make all the adjustments. So I think whatever solutions we suggest, they must be we must consult the women, and they must be made the main stakeholders in any policy making.
What are you doing in India to encourage the government to have a slightly more progressive view on women then? There's been a lot of stories in the Indian newspapers in the past year about the treatment of women, particularly the treatment of women in rural parts of the country. What kind of pressure are you putting on your government? Because I guess it starts there, doesn't it? It doesn't necessarily start at the UN.
No, we have been working at the national level for more than 87 years. And we started with basic education, literacy, and then going on to legal and economic empowerment of the women. And then we had a lot of background work for getting suitable legislations for social change. So that has been our history. And coming to climate change, we have a long history of working in alternate energy. We have been doing a lot of work in alternate energy for the past 3 decades or more. And in climate change, our active engagement started from Durban. That was 4 years back. And we have been attending COP since then, and we have got observer status. And over the past 3 years, we have conducted several advocacy programs across the country. As you know, India is a very large country, and in several states of India, we have conducted advocacy programs where we involved local government representatives with climate change experts and other NGOs and ordinary citizens in our advocacy programs. So we bring them on the same platform so that they can discuss. The women, and not only women, the local population, they come and they discuss the problems that they are facing due to climate change, and then the government representatives come and explain to them what are the steps that being the policy that they are making to deal with climate change, and then naturally they come up with a lot of suggestions, and that we put up as our advocacy policy advocacy to the government. So we are doing it at different levels, and at national level we want to collect all the recommendations together, and whatever has to be done at the national government level, we would be taking up with the national government.
Okay, and final question, I mean, in terms of what's your message to your minister who's being arrived in Lima today, Prakash Shivadkar, the Environment Minister, what's your message to him about this particular issue?
Yes, we would be meeting him, and we want him to strongly take up gender equality as a cross-cutting element across all the elements of the agreement, whether it is mitigation, adaptation, finance, technology transfer, and in each issue, we want that gender equality must form a cross-cutting element which is taken very seriously, and we need a climate policy which is gender responsive, which is equally just to men and women, boys and girls. So human rights and gender responsiveness are the two good things that we are looking at in the climate policy.